I found love notes between my husband and my coworker hidden in her desk, so I gathered every receipt, every message, and sent their affair to all 347 employees in a company-wide memo before throwing him out. I found the first note while looking for staplers in Sarah's desk drawer. Can't wait to taste you again tonight. Meet me at the usual place. Your mouth drives me crazy. D. My husband's handwriting. My husband's initial. My husband who told me he was working late again, third time this week. So sorry honey, but this project is killing him. Sarah from accounting. Sweet, quiet Sarah who brought homemade cookies to office parties and always asked about our kids. Sarah who complimented my new haircut and said she envied our perfect marriage. Sarah who had been staying late too, apparently. Sarah who smiled at me in the break room every morning while screwing my husband behind my back. I should have confronted them immediately. Normal people would have stormed out, called lawyers, screamed until security came. Instead, I sat in that supply closet reading love notes between my husband of 12 years and my colleague of 5, and something cold and calculating settled in my chest. My hands stopped shaking. My breathing slowed. The hurt transformed into something sharper, more dangerous. They thought they were so careful. So clever. Meeting at the Marriott down the street during lunch breaks. Texting through the company messaging system because I never checked his work messages anyway. Planning romantic weekend getaways while I managed our 2 kids alone, making excuses about why daddy couldn't come to soccer games or school plays. He was building a future with her while I held our life together with both hands. The notes were everywhere once I started looking. Really looking. Taped under her keyboard where cleaning staff wouldn't find them. Hidden in project files labeled Budget Reconciliation Q3. Tucked into her desk calendar between dentist appointments and team meetings. Dozens of them, spanning 8 months. Detailed, explicit, planning every stolen moment. Planning their future together after Dave figured out how to leave without losing everything in the divorce. Each note was a knife twist. Your skin tastes like vanilla. Can't concentrate in meetings knowing you're 3 floors below me. Last night was incredible. You make me feel alive again. I love how you moan my name. She's working late again. Perfect timing for us. They underestimated me completely. They saw the woman who packed lunchboxes with little notes, who attended every PTA meeting, who remembered everyone's birthdays and organized office baby showers. They thought I was the boring, predictable wife who handled domestic life while the important people did important things. They had no idea I managed all our finances, knew every password to every account, had been handling Dave's business correspondence for years. They definitely didn't know I had administrative access to the company-wide email system because of my role in HR communications. The planning got more elaborate as months passed. Found the perfect house for us in Maplewood. 3 bedrooms, good schools for when you get custody. Custody. Of my children. With my husband. In a house purchased with money he was hiding from me. We need to be more strategic about the separation. My lawyer says timing matters for asset protection. Asset protection. He was already planning how to screw me financially. But the final note I found was the one that shattered whatever mercy I might have had left. She's getting suspicious. Keeps asking about my schedule. We need to be more careful until I can figure out the cleanest exit strategy. Can't wait until we don't have to hide anymore. Can't wait to wake up next to you every morning instead of her. Love you, my future wife. Soon this will all be just a bad memory and we can start our real life together. Bad memory? 12 years of marriage, 2 children, a life built brick by brick, and I was going to be relegated to a bad memory so he could play house with Sarah from accounting. That's when I stopped shaking and started planning. That's when the hurt crystallized into something harder and infinitely more dangerous. They wanted careful? Strategic? Clean exits and asset protection? I'd show them exactly what careful planning looked like. I'd show them what happened when you underestimated the woman who actually held all the cards. I spent 3 days organizing their destruction with the same methodical attention I brought to everything else in my life. Screenshots of text messages I pulled from our shared family cloud account that Dave forgot he'd connected to. Photos of receipts from their hotel meetings, all charged to his company credit card. Every single love note, photographed and arranged chronologically to tell their sordid story. Bank statements showing money spent on jewelry for her while our mortgage payment went late 2 months running. Credit card charges at Victoria's Secret, perfume counters, expensive restaurants I'd never been to. The company-wide memo went out at exactly 9 a.m. on Friday morning to all 347 employees. Subject: important reminder about workplace ethics and personal conduct standards. Dear team, Please find attached comprehensive documentation regarding inappropriate workplace relationships that directly violate our company's ethics policy and professional conduct standards. These materials were discovered during a routine audit of company communications and demonstrate the critical importance of maintaining appropriate professional boundaries at all times. All employees are reminded that company resources, including but not limited to company time, company communications systems, company credit cards, and company facilities, should never be used for personal matters of any kind. Additionally, please note that conduct reflecting poorly on our organization's reputation may result in immediate disciplinary action up to and including termination. For your reference and training purposes, please review all attached documentation carefully. These serve as clear examples of policy violations that will not be tolerated. Attached, Evidence Files 1 to 43, Personal Communications, Financial Records, Timeline Documentation. Please direct any questions to HR immediately. Best regards. Jennifer Martinez, HR Communications Coordinator. I watched from my office window as phones started buzzing across the building like a swarm of electronic bees. Sarah's face went chalk white when she opened the first attachment, a high-resolution photo of Dave's handwritten note promising to make her forget she ever doubted their love. Her hands started shaking so violently she knocked over her coffee mug. By 9:15, she was sobbing at her desk while her cubicle neighbors pretended not to stare. By 9:30, Dave was fielding calls from his boss, his clients, his mother who had somehow gotten forwarded the memo by a helpful coworker. The entire building was reading their private moments, dissected and displayed in clean corporate formatting. Dave's explicit descriptions of Sarah's body, catalogued like evidence in a court case. Sarah's detailed fantasies about their future home, exposed to 347 people who would never look at her the same way again. Their stolen afternoon encounters, presented with timestamps and location data pulled from Dave's phone GPS. Sarah quit by lunch, clearing out her desk while everyone watched. She couldn't even look at me when she walked past my office. Dave came home that night to change locks and divorce papers taped to the door. His clothes were in garbage bags on the lawn. His PlayStation was in pieces next to them. The fallout was swift and merciless. Dave's biggest client dropped him after seeing evidence he'd used company time and resources for personal affairs. Sarah's apartment application was denied when the landlord Googled her name and found the Reddit threads discussing the memo. Someone had leaked it beyond our company. Her mother called me crying, begging me to make it stop. Dave's business partner dissolved their firm. His professional reputation was radioactive. I got a formal reprimand for misusing company communications, but kept my job. My supervisor actually winked when she handed me the write-up. The women in the office started bringing me better coffee. The men stopped making jokes about keeping the wife happy. Everyone knew exactly what happened when you crossed Jennifer Martinez. 6 months later, I heard through office gossip that Dave and Sarah broke up. Turns out love isn't particularly romantic when everyone you know has read your explicit text messages in a company-wide email distribution. Turns out starting a relationship with public humiliation and professional suicide isn't exactly a solid foundation for lasting happiness. Dave was working at a call center. Sarah moved back in with her parents in Ohio. I kept our house. Kept the kids. Kept my dignity. My lawyer was very impressed with my evidence-gathering capabilities. The divorce settlement was extremely favorable, considering Dave had helpfully documented his asset hiding and affair with such meticulous detail. Sometimes I think about that first note. Can't wait to taste you again tonight. Such a small thing. Such careless confidence. They thought they were so smart, so careful, so much better than the stupid wife who packed lunches and attended PTA meetings. They forgot that the woman who handles all the details, who pays attention to everything, who remembers every birthday and manages every password, is exactly the woman you should never, ever underestimate. Sweet dreams, Sarah. Hope the taste was worth it.